Que lo que, mi gente? This is Danny.
I'm Scarlett.
And this is
Watching Movies While Married.
Today we're going to talk about Scarlett's favorite movie.
No.
As you guys know, that movie is It.
No.
So, from the get-go, we're going to hit it hard, guys, because this movie's long, so we're going to go kind of fast. So, from the get-go, what do we see? We see Georgie and we see Bill together, like good brothers, and Georgie goes outside and it happens. He gets to have the displeasure to actually meet Pennywise. So, how do you feel about that scene? Again, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it because this is a spoilers discussion, okay? As the title says, spoilers discussion. If you haven't seen it, you should probably go and watch our other non-spoilers discussion. The link is going to be on the description, so make sure you watch that one if you haven't seen the movie. But if you did, you're in the right place, guys. So let's hit it. This is just how did you feel about the way Georgie died?
Poor Georgie. That's not a good way to die.
Well, no, I don't think there's any way that it's.
I know it's not. I know it's not. But if you think it's just a poor kid, it looks like he was like 5 or 6.
Well, it's not much. He just got his arm ripped off.
Only that?
Yeah, just that, right? I mean,
only that.
Only that. I mean, that's
you know the pain that poor kid probably had.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I haven't never even broken a bone in my life.
Hey, I know that.
Knocking wood, so hopefully
I know that,
happens.
and I know very well how it feels.
Yeah, well,
it's not good.
But yeah, in the book, he just tears his arm off, and then George is screaming. That was really sad. He's screaming for his life.
And he was dragging. He was
dragging himself through the floor while it's raining in the pavement, and Pennywise just his hand just sticks out and pull him by his legs, and they never find it. In the book, this is actually something that is different. In the book, they do actually find Georgie with a broken arm, with a missing arm, I would say. But in the movie, it's he's completely gone, which it drives the Bill story. Right? That's what drives me. It's we never found his body. He's probably alive. We're not looking for him. And you'd realize that it seems like the adults don't care.
No, it's probably because of the other kids that were missing. So they probably say, well, the other never show up, never appears, nobody knew nothing about them. So that's probably they decide, well, he's one of them. So
in the actual book, they say that it's part of what Pennywise is, as whatever entity he is, which in the book they get into it. He's like a shapeshifter that has been around for thousands of years, depending on which culture you're from. It has different names. He's taken the shape of a werewolf, vampires, but it's actually a being that just takes different forms, and he comes every 20 or 30 years to feed on kids, mostly on kids. It says on the book that he actually has eaten adults before, but since kids, he can afraid them even more. That actually it does better for him.
Yes, because the kids are more innocent, and well, I'm an adult. I'm still getting scared of clowns, but probably because of that, kids are more innocent and get they can get scary easier.
Yeah. So after we meet both Bill and we meet Georgie, then we get actually to meet Beverly in school. We actually meet Greta first, which she was the female bully of the school. She was the popular girl, and she hated Beverly.
They have to be mean.
Yeah, exactly. She was the mean girl, and they hated Beverly. Beverly was a very beautiful girl, and she was pretty, but not like Beverly. And they were calling her names because supposedly she kissed a boy in a school play, and just because of that, they were saying that she was
probably she was jealous.
Yeah, she was jealous.
She was jealous that it wasn't her.
Exactly.
So that's why she probably make all those stories about her.
Yeah, so you know how it is. There's always one, and she hated Beverly, and she was spewing or not spewing, but more like sharing a lot, creating rumors about her. That's the word. Sorry, like the Spanish was in my head, like blah 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 blah.
In a small town, you know.
Yeah, small town, and like things travel fast. But
everybody knows.
yeah, but they actually
everybody.
grabbed, like they put like a bunch of water in a trash can, and then they poured all that water on top of Beverly. She uses her book bag to cover her head when she knew something was up, but she manages to do that. After we meet Beverly, we get to meet Ben. Ben, probably one of the coolest kids. Like he was this one of the smartest one, and we see Ben carrying like a school project. Because in the movie, as you know, again, you watched the movie, right? You did. Well, just keep going if you did. It was the last day of school or whatnot, and when she sees her, he goes in shock, like, "Oh my God, I've seen the most beautiful person ever."
He was amazed. Yeah, he was in love.
Yeah, he was so in love with her, like not at first sight, because as we learned, he's seen her before. But just the fact that she's talking to him, he actually he was a little jumpy because he thought it was Henry who was following him, because Henry hates him because he didn't let him copy his exam. But like she meets him, introduces herself, and he goes like, "Oh no, I know who you are. Like you probably don't know I even existed until today, but I've seen you around." and like then like it was a funny moment. She takes off his headphones because he was listening to music, and he was listening to New Kids in the Block, and she's like, "Oh, you're listening to New Kids in the Block?" It's like, "Oh yeah, by mistake," or something like that. And I'm like, I don't even know. I probably have never even listened to one of their songs. I don't know.
Really?
Yes. Sorry. No. I've never done. So I'm sorry. But why is that so surprising?
Because they're the New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, they were new like 30 years ago.
Well, yeah. but I'm not that old, and I know about them.
But you had older brothers, I didn't, or older siblings, I didn't.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Anyhow, but like we meet him, and like when he's walking away, like he's still amazed. And I think this is one of those things that the director Andy Buschetti did so well. It was to combine humor, combine like kids coming of age, combine horror in a way that it just works. They're kids. They experience different things as they grow, and that's one of them. Like he felt in love at that moment, and it was a cool moment. After we meet him, I believe we get to meet. I think it's Stan. Like I thought we met Stan before we met the other guy. So was it Eddie? I think it was Stan. Eddie. We meet Eddie after. Yeah, so I think we meet Stan after that. And
yes, because remember he has to go to the church to do some.
It was a
rehearsal.
synagogue. It was a synagogue because he's Jewish.
Well, I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, he went to because he had like
his bar mitzvah. It's coming up, so he's practicing.
Yes, he had to.
So he goes there, and there's like a weird painting again. Like as we learn in the movie, Pennywise actually takes the shape of whatever you're afraid of, and he's afraid of a painting that it's in his father's office. It is a weird painting, like probably one of that modern art type of deal.
Yeah, but it's like weird.
It was wavy and like weird eyes, and like the painting was sideways, so he actually puts it to like he fixes it, and after that he turns around, puts a book on a bookshelf, turns around, and the lady was not in the painting anymore. Then they go around with the camera, and she's behind him. He touches her and just scream. I mean, that was probably the thing that he hated the most, and it was just there.
I'd do the same thing.
Yeah, I know, of course. I would have run. I'm like, the moment that I saw that she was not in the painting anymore, that's the moment I'm running.
I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm like, bye-bye. So we see that moment, and that's how we start learning. Oh my God, like it's him. But he's taking the persona of that. And it's the same, like after that, we get to see Ben, who's in the library. Ben is new in town, didn't have many friends, so he actually always go to the library, learn about the town and all that. And he hears his name, like somebody's calling him or whatnot. And he starts walking to the basement because he was seeing like Easter eggs, right? That's why he was seeing.
He was seeing those Easter eggs. So, and while he was walking, you know that the Easter egg was like probably
It
moving.
keeps moving.
It keeps
Like,
moving.
for
And
real,
and he
dude,
was
like-
following. Like, why in the world? That would.
I mean-
how are you going to follow something that is just moving, especially like an egg?
Yeah, like I love chocolate, but if the chocolate keeps moving, guess what? I'm not chasing it. But he was chasing the chocolate.
Well, he
and-
was curious.
Yes, but
But-
it's moving. It's chocolate that it's moving. You don't do that.
Well, you don't know if it was chocolate.
It was an Easter egg. It's chocolate. Easter egg.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to, but you don't know if it was
Yeah,
chocolate.
no, but still it's moving. Like it was moving. So he goes into the basement and he actually sees this shape that is coming towards him. And it was like what was it? Like a kid without a head? Because that's what he just saw in the book he was reading. And then he turns around and there was like the kid was right behind him. And then it became Pennywise. So he takes off running. He's the librarian and he's just like stoned completely. Like I would have been like, I'm not even coming back to that library anymore. But I guess the kid didn't have
I'll be
friends.
moving.
Oh, yeah, well, he didn't have a choice.
But yeah, that's true. He didn't have a choice.
So like that's again telling you he's gonna make you afraid of the things that you don't know. So when he just takes off running out of the library, then he actually sadly he has to run into Henry Bowers and his friends. I mean,
has to be.
anybody can be a tough guy when you have two other people with you they're gonna hold the person that you want to hit or whatever. But that's a bully. They're cowards.
That's right, because why you don't do it by yourself?
Of course, because he's not the same. He's afraid. He just plays the tough guy, but he's not a tough
Well,
guy.
if you are a tough guy, you would do it by yourself.
Nah, he wasn't really a tough guy. He was just a scary little puppy. Anyhow, so you see on the commercial or the trailer that they're walking like in the streets. Like you see 2-3 kids holding another one with the shirt up, and then there's like this really that really odd couple that drives
They
by.
were
and just-
scary.
Yeah, they were.
They look scary.
Yeah, so when he's carving, like Henry starts carving his name in Ben's stomach, and as the car drive by, you see the balloon. Like you saw that balloon, and you know bad things are happening. So you see the balloon. He's carving his name in his stomach, and somehow Ben actually manages to escape from him. Like he hit him in his testicles to like fell back and started running, and that's when Ben, like after running a while, Henry actually comes down. He actually trips, falls down, loses his knife, which was like his dad's knife or whatever. He loses his knife, and then he chases him, and like he started chasing. He actually sent his friends to chase on Ben while he looked for the
knife.
For the knife. Ben keeps running, and then that's when he meets the rest of the Losers Club, and they see him that he's
was
he's
bleeding.
bleeding and all that stuff, and that's when they try to help him, and that's when we meet actually get to see Richie and in action, because Richie, to me, he was the best. Like to me, Finn Wolfhard was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, he was the funny one.
Yeah, he was just amazing that he was such a good good actor, and I'm not amazed of his skills. Obviously, he's skilled. I'm just amazed of how good he was in the movie. It worked really well for him. But that's when they meet him, and then they go into the pharmacy. Like, okay, we have like Eddie. It's always sick, as you know. Again, you guys saw the movie. Spoilers. He has, I guess, more, I would say, experience on how to keep things clean, because of the fact that his mother was always keeping everything clean, because poor Eddie, you're always sick. So they go into the pharmacy and they try to buy bandages, rubbing alcohol, just to clean up, until they realize, oh my god, we don't have money. So and then they said, oh, your mom has an account, and I think at that moment it's one of the funniest things when he goes like, guys, if my mom find out what I got here, we'll spend the whole weekend in the ER. I don't want that. So,
Poor kid.
I know, like, poor guy was always sick. So Beverly actually hears them, and she approaches them, and she help them actually get what they need without having to pay for it. In other words, they stole it.
Well, it was a good cause.
It was a good cause. So
Yeah.
as long as there's a good cause, it's okay to steal.
No, it's not.
I'm just wondering. I mean, but she actually distracts the pharmacist, which he looked at her in like such a weird way. It was very creepy the way he was looking at her.
Yeah, because probably all the stories that around the town about her.
She was like 12.
I know, but that's the problem with small towns. Like everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, but still, like she was like 12. Why are you looking at her like that? You crip.
Well, yeah, he not supposed to be doing that. But about all the stories in the town that what she was supposed to be doing. So that's
Yeah.
why he probably he was looking at her like that.
Yeah, so like after that happens, she actually comes back out and she says hi. Like she actually kind of liked Bill. Like she actually fell in love with Bill, I guess. And poor Ben, he's like, really, dude, I don't like you already. But she sees her and he's trying to play the tough guy because obviously that's the girl he likes. And he's like, oh my god, I can't be looking like this. So after that, like we actually got to learn what Richie's not Richie's but Eddie's fear was. So he's walking by himself. And he goes through that creepy house where Pennywise lived, and he actually see a guy with leopard following him. Like imagine you be like a germaphobe and like something like that is chasing you. That has to drive you crazy.
Of course.
So like the guy has like his nose comes up, like he didn't have a nose and
No,
like,
and everything was like I don't know. The face was like I don't know
the
going
skin was like coming off or whatever.
It was like going down and
Yeah.
like it looked like it was like melting.
Pretty much. I think that's you could say it was melting.
It was like
disgusting.
it was nasty.
Yeah, so like we see that and that's when we learn what Richie's fear it is, because he became Pennywise. Like in the trailer, you see Pennywise just sitting there with a bunch of balloons, and then he starts chasing Richie. It was like every time Pennywise was on the screen, it was super creepy. Bill Skarsgård, great actor, excellent actor. I think he was perfect to play this role. He was excellent.
Yeah, I think he was enjoying being.
Oh, of course, yeah. He was
Pennywise.
very, very creepy. I actually read today that Hugo Heaven was actually considered for the part. He's Agent Smith on The Matrix.
Oh.
Yeah, he's actually the Red Skull on Captain America, the first Captain America. The
Oh,
bad
it's
guy.
him?
Yeah, so he was the first one who was considered for it, but then they actually went with Bill Skarsgård for the role.
He likes to be bad.
Oh yeah, he's usually the bad guy on the movies. So like again, like the director actually great balance. Like hands up, like give him a hand. Like Andy Muschietti, great direction, great combination of characters, and it was just great. It was awesome. So we actually after that we go and see what's her name, Beverly's living condition is, and we learn what her fear was, which was blood apparently, because she sees the bathroom like full of blood, like blood coming out of the sink, and like the whole place was full of blood or whatnot. Then she talks to the other kids when they start talking about their experiences, and they help her clean. And that's when Ben has led her a poem. And she thought it was Bill. For some reason, she thought it was Bill and not Ben, and that moves the plot as well. But we see that, and it's just disgusting. I mean, that's one of
Like watching all the
reasons.
blood
Yeah,
at the wall.
yeah, like I think that's one of the reasons that I don't watch scary movies anymore, because sometimes they're not scary. It's more like nasty and gory, and I don't like it. Like this movie actually moved away from it. That's the only scene that you can say, oh, that's just gore or whatever. But it's that was what very impressive. But again, it's just one of those things that you're like, really, you didn't have to do that. It was still great, but again, pet peeves, things here and there, not much. So,
But yeah, that was the good part of the movie.
oh yeah,
That was
it
not
made sense.
Yeah, it wasn't like continuously.
Exactly.
It had like moments.
Yes.
So that's why it wasn't that bad.
Oh no, of course, no. I'm not saying it was bad. It's just it's one of those things that they do, like in what is it, Nightmare on Elm Street, that you see all the blood coming in. It's the Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, no, that's
him.
nasty. Ugh.
Exactly. So, but I guess the reason why they did that is because when we met Beverly in the pharmacy, she was buying feminine products, like, and I guess since she was going through her days, first time going through it, I guess that's what her fear was. I guess, and that's why she saw blood. I'm guessing that's just my, I guess, ignorant guess, but in my head it makes sense. I don't know.
It might be.
It might be, right? So we see that, and like, I guess that's her fear that she tells her dad about, and her dad is like, "I'm worried about you. What are you talking about?" But yeah, like that's again, we learned that Pennywise is just their fears, and in the book that actually describe what he is, and it's just that, like, he takes the shapes of their biggest fears. So after we see that, again, guys, we're moving quickly because I promise to have this being less than 20 minutes, and this movie's so long that we are not gonna be able to accomplish that.
No, because the problem with the movie is, well, it's not like a problem. It's like they talk a little bit about it.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like like all their life combined.
Yes, exactly. So that's why, it takes a while to get through it, but it's entertaining. In the moment that you're like, oh my god,
He's coming.
But after all those things happen, that's when they actually start learning more about him. They actually go to Ben's house, and that's when they actually see all the investigation that Ben has done on the town, on Pennywise. And again, there's a New Kids in the Block poster behind the door, and he's
he likes them.
He definitely does.
Yeah.
He definitely likes them, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just they were making fun of him. From there, they actually moved to Bill's house with all the information that they have, which you can actually see in the trailers, and that's when you see them looking at the film. So when you see in the trailer that they're looking at that film, you can actually see how fast it was going.
Even if you see, it was, I know it was going fast, but even that they push it.
Yeah, like they actually threw it on the floor when they started seeing Pennywise, and
it
like,
continues
just
like,
kept going, yeah.
and like moving, and it was like faster and faster every time until that he just
came out.
Yeah, he came out.
He was the size of the whole garage, and then at that moment, Carter broke down and started crying. Like, what was it? Was it so impressive that
it was because I thought that I was like not. Like, he was there. Like, I could see that big and my fear of clowns. So imagine, I hate him too. So imagine, I thought that he was like in front of me.
Yeah, and guys, have in mind, this was a just regular screening that we got to see. I think you would have just gone crazy if it would have been an IMAX 3D screening.
No, I'll be saying, I'm sorry, I'm gone. I'll be good night, and I'll just wait you outside.
So after they learn where the epicenter of everything is, which it was that house.
Yeah, it was
that the house. They actually go there. Like Bill, who's played by Jaden Libther, he actually says it's time to go there, guys. We'll go there and yeah, like I'm ready to take on him. He took my brother from me. I'm taking him away from here. So they go there completely unprepared, and they're like, dude, you're crazy. What are you doing? But he still goes there. He's like, I'm going in. You guys, who's going to come with me? So I guess they actually they draw like the shortest straw, and when they're walking in the house, again, Richie had one of the greatest one-liners ever when he told them how lucky they were that
they were not doing that.
They were using something else, Again, like, it's just.
He was the funny one of the group.
He was amazing. To me, I love his character. Like, listening to the audiobook, I love Bill's character. That's the character that I like. But actually watching the movie, I like Richie. Like, that's the guy to me. Funny, different mediums, different characterizations. But when they do that, they go in the house. So it's Richie, Eddie, and Bill. And that's when you see in the trailers that Richie's walking into that creepy clown room. Actually, before that's when he actually sees the paper.
Yes,
with his face.
yes. But I have all the spider dots and all that. It was so he saw that paper inside there. And
with his face, like
he
missing people.
He took the paper. Is when we realized that was him. That he saying that he was missing. and he got crazy.
Yeah, because throughout the movie, I think he was the last one to see Pennywise because like, oh, I'm scared of clowns as it is. So he actually didn't get to see him until that point. So I guess he was just afraid to just disappear like the other kids.
Yes.
So and like at that moment that happened, Billy's like, hey dude, calm down. He's just trying to get in your head. Let's go through this. We can do it. And then they go through the house and he goes into that creepy clown room when actually Pennywise made them go different ways. Like Richie was Richie was in the clown room. Eddie was behind somewhere. And then,
but they got like separated.
So yeah, they get separated.
Yeah, they get separated, and
then
the doors were closing,
yeah.
and they were like inside the like different rooms.
Yeah, so different rooms, different experiences. Like I think that's when, if I'm not mistaken, Bill saw the missing kids. That's what he was seeing because again, afraid of missing kids because his brother was missing, and that's what was driving him. Then Richie see the clowns because he hates clowns. Like. Even though he was really afraid, he goes like, "Oh, you damn stupid clowns," or something among those lines. Until Pennywise just like jumps out of a chest and just bolts and trying to chase him. It's really funny. I mean, it gives me goosebumps when I think about it. And then like Richie falls down. Eddie falls down, breaks an arm, and Pennywise is about to kill him. He's about to kill him, and then Beverly just comes out of nowhere with a metal spear.
She was brave.
Oh hell yeah, she was.
She was brave.
And like she gets that thing through his head. I'm like, God, girl, you go. You're the best over there. Like those kids have nothing on you. And like his face gets contorted. Pennywise's face gets contorted, and it was just nasty. Crazy, and at the same time you were rooting for them because hey, they were about to be killed. So after that's when they walk out of the house. Like they actually ran out before Pennywise could do any more damage, and they go back to Richie's house. And Richie's not Richie, but Eddie. God, why am I confusing him with Eddie? So he goes there. They actually go to his house, and his mom is going crazy again. The super overprotective mother with her kid having a broken arm, and like the character designs for the adults. You see, like they were weird looking. Like all the adults were weird looking.
Yeah, they were kind of weird. But in case of her, his mom, she was trying to be,
super protective.
Super protective. But the problem was on the situation of the other kids. So that was for her. That was like the only way to keep him inside the house, like to keep him safe.
Yes, but I don't know if they have the same intention on the movie, but at least on the book, it's part of Pennywise. Whenever Pennywise showed up, like it's like the adults were not caring about what was going on. So I think it's part of it.
But he erased his...
Not that he erased their memory, but being whatever being he is, it actually influences all of the adults' mentality. So, like, things are happening, bad things are happening.
But they don't care.
But they kind of don't care. It's just part of whatever he brings out.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, exactly. So, at that moment, that's when they get separated. Everybody goes their own way. They're not talking to each other. Like, you're crazy. Like, you almost got all killed. Look at what happened to Eddie. And they all go their own separate ways, which is sad. Like, these kids have gone through so much. And then, like...
But imagine.
I know.
The situation that it just happened.
Yeah, I know. But still, like...
They almost died.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they almost died, but... Yeah, everybody goes separate ways at that moment, and that's like the end of the second act of the movie. They're like, dude, you almost killed us. We're done with you. Doesn't matter what happened. We're never, ever getting together again. So it's a sad moment.
I'll do the same.
Yeah, I know. But they were just mad at each other. They're kids.
Yeah, I know. They were mad because... they almost got killed.
Oh yeah, they almost got killed. But yeah, like after that, like we saw what happened to Beverly. Like Beverly's actually walking out just to meet Bill again. Like they're friends. She still wants to hang out with him. So she's walking out. That's when her dad found the poem that Ben actually wrote.
Yes.
And like that's when you actually learn that her fear is her dad abusing her, which is just terrifying in itself. Like no, that's one, like take that from reality. That happens, sadly happens too often in real life, and that was her fear. And she actually gets really brave, runs away from her dad after she kicked him in the testicles, ran into the bathroom. He finally breaks in, like he breaks into their bathroom, and she's had it with him.
Well, she was tired.
Of course, like she's like, I'm just gotta do something. So she takes the cupboard of the toilet tank, hits him with that in the face, blood all over the place, and then she turns around, and who was there? Your favorite character,
The clown.
Pennywise. Grab it by the neck, and that's where that scene ends. Then we see that Bill actually comes in, sees written on the door and the walls, "If you come to get her, you'll die too." And that's actually, he runs out and he gets everybody together. Then the gang gets together again, and they're like, "We're gonna finish this up because he has our friend." Oh no. So he gets the gang together again, and they're like, "We're gonna finish this. We're gonna get our," like, they got ready. They got like the metal spears.
They got everything but they could
They
found.
exactly. So while that's happening, we see that Henry actually finds that knife that he
But
lost.
if you say that, like, they had like the balloon.
Oh yeah,
on
he's
the mail
following
books
the balloon.
and the sun.
God,
it was
that-
like
that
those
balloon, man.
like
You
kid.
knew something was happening when that balloon. So he finds this knife because his dad actually made him have a bad moment in front of his friends, and he grabs the knife. He kills his dad. Like, he kills his dad, and then like put the knife in his neck and just like pluff in the other.
But he
side.
was like, he was like, I don't know, if possessed by him.
Yes, exactly.
because,
He was in his Pennywise.
Yeah,
trance,
because
so
if you see like his face, like craziness.
crazy eyes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and remember his face. He was like acting like a.
Like a lunatic.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
So he was like possessed by him.
Yeah, so after that, like, we see the kids going down to the house, going down to the drain where they knew where the Pennywise was down there, the Pennywise lair, if you want to call it. But actually, they show that Pennywise was actually not able to kill Beverly because Beverly was not afraid anymore. Her biggest fear was her dad, and she just knocked him out. He probably died too. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he was dead.
with
Obviously,
that, yeah,
after
there was so much blood.
after that, she hit him, but no, he was dead.
So, like, he couldn't kill her. So again, he was feeding on fear. He can't kill you if you're not afraid of him. So all the kids, like, they go there. Everybody's down there but Mike. Mike has to fight Henry, and then he like actually manages to get away, and Henry falls down the drain and dies. In the book, he doesn't die like that though. He's actually put in a like a prison for the medical insane or the criminally insane. That's what it is, criminally insane. And like in this movie, he dies in the first part. Again, there's gonna be a second part. So when all the kids are down there, Stan actually walks away. He gets in trouble. He almost died because he got separated from the group. Once they go down there, they see all the kids floating. It was an impressive scene, and they see Beverly floating as well. Bill realizes that, oh my god, you couldn't kill her because she's not afraid. So while Bill is actually walking around because he sees what he thought it was his brother Georgie. I said it before, but I thought it was him. For a second, I thought it was him.
It couldn't be him
Oh, no, of
because
course
just imagine the days that he was like disappeared. He was missing. So
It was like over a month or so.
and
it was
he was
a
like
long time.
yeah, and he was missing an arm. So
Yeah, he wouldn't
how-
survive. But what? It would have
why-
been crazy if it would have been him.
Well, yeah, but it couldn't be him
Oh no, I know
because of the situation that he just grabbed his arm and all that. He probably be bleeding.
that. Yeah, he would have bled to his death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it wasn't him.
But the thing is, well, he sees that. He sees the kid and he's walking to it. The rest of the Losers Club is trying to grab Beverly because she's floating. Again, that was their thing. Like, you'll
You
float
float
too. And like they grab her, pull her down. They see that she's in trance. If you're a wrestling fan, like The Undertaker.
You can see me.
Well, she couldn't see them, but that's not what it's The Undertaker, okay? Wrestling. Anyhow, so they see that, and like what happens? Ben just gives her a kiss. Like in any fairy tale, Disney fairy tale,
What?
he gives her the
Yeah,
kiss
the
that
love.
brings her back to, I guess, yeah,
Yeah,
love.
love.
Yeah, it was love. So I guess it was love. That's actually what brought her back.
Of
So
course, love.
so after that, like Bill goes in and kills Georgie, like stunned after he did that. But then like he starts Pennywise just starts changing forms. Like it showed like he was just everything that they feared, and it showed over there. Like it showed
Because probably he wants to like to trap everybody.
Yep.
And get like everybody at the same time.
Yeah, so you see that he became the guy with leopard, he became Georgie, he became the burnt people, because that's what Michael was afraid of, because his parents were burned alive in a fire. So he became the mummy. Actually, funny thing, like they never mentioned that Ben was afraid of the mummy.
No,
but in the
until
actual,
that moment.
Yeah, like in the actual book, he's I mean the book is based in the 50s, so he goes in to see horror movies, and he was afraid of the mummy. But even like that, like they get together, they kicked Pennywise butt, and they overcome it. They overcome fear to the point that even Pennywise acknowledged that fear is what fit him. So he goes down through the drain, and they go out, and they, high five each other, I guess, and they were happy for what they accomplished, and then they made a pact. Like days later, they made a pact when school was about to start again, that if it ever happened again, they were gonna come back in 27 years later and just finish what they started.
Yeah, but the way that they made that pact.
Well, blood pact. So that's
Yeah,
that's
but
what
it just it hurts.
Oh well,
Because in
yeah.
the hand.
Yeah, exactly. So after that, they pan out, and yeah, it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. So as before,
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, you divorced my movie taste, but that was just because of the theme of the movie, I guess. So again, guys, this took way longer than what we expected. If you sat through this whole video, thank you very much. We really appreciate that. And if you enjoyed it just as much as we did making the video, please share with your friends, like it, hit the bell so you can get notifications. And it took us several tries to get this video because of technical issues. You see, the light was different because it's nighttime. We started during the daytime. But again, thank you again, guys. Thank you for joining us. You can find me on social media, on Twitter, Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at Danny Bliss, and you can find Scarlett on Twitter at Scarlett_G5 G05. Again, like I said it wrong before. So Scarlett G_G05. You can find the show's Twitter to be DS_WMWM for Danny and Scarlett Watching Movies While Married. And you can find it on Facebook and Instagram at Watching Movies While Married. Again, guys, thank you very much. We appreciate. Like, comment if you want, share it with your friends, hit the little bell. Thank you for joining us. This is a pleasure. And like they say, until death set us apart, we will be
watching movies while married.
Again, we love you guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.